Okay. I wanted to analyze the song Every Star Shivers in the Dark by Lil Neal because it is my favorite song lately. It is so good. It is so intentional. It's very simple and very bare bones. In the sense that it was crafted very carefully. Everything that is in it is there for a reason, and everything that isn't is not there for a reason. It is absolutely incredible. I think it's genius. So, okay, I wrote down some notes. But it starts off by saying, Every star shivers in the dark. I've been shooting with a heavy, heavy heart. And I think this is an interesting way to start because it starts off by her personifying the star. And just kind of, when I think of a star shivering in the dark, I think of the vastness of space. I think of a pit in my stomach that is as deep as a quarry, something that is so godly, something that is so much bigger than us, but it is also tangible because it is a star. It is something you can touch. Well, not actually, but you know what I mean. It is a real thing. And so I think that's a cool thing to start off with spirituality as something that is so big, something so much bigger than us, but also something that is real and something that we know. And she says, I've been shooting with a heavy, heavy heart. And I think that's interesting because it could mean, I've been shooting with a heavy, heavy heart. I've been trying. I've been shooting for something. Or also tying back to Every Star Shivers in the Dark, a shooting star. Okay, and then talking to losers at the stadium, telling them it's all right, let's have some fun. Why can't I have some fun? Why can't I have some fun? And this is where grief and despair kind of starts to come in, which is a very, very big theme in this song and its relationship to hope, which I think is really cool. It's kind of this feeling of like, why me? Why me? Why can't I have some fun? And I think I know that I think we all know that feeling. The amount of times I've talked to my friends that were upset and they said, no one knows this the way I do. Like that song, I Know Alone by Haim, they say, I know alone like no one else does. I think that's what they say, something to the effect of that. It's like, it's this overall sense of God, like me, like I'm lonely, I'm alone, I can't have fun. But also, so there's this subtle sense of despair because why can't I have some fun is it's a very nonchalant sentence. It's something you could say to someone you don't know. Why can't I have some fun? But it carries so much weight. Again, it's that heaviness, the heaviness of every star shivers in the dark. And also, I also have this other interpretation of it, of, talking to losers at the stadium, telling them it's all right, let's have some fun. It's all right. Whatever they're doing, it's all right. That kind of sounds to me like a justification of the way they're having fun, be it drinking, substances, something that she thinks she should not be doing, but it's all right. She should have some fun. Why can't I have some fun, right? I can have some fun. So this justification of now, of the now that we live in, and what we might be sacrificing in the future for now. And then, okay, next verse. Shaping the clay in the dark pre-dawn, God made man to love someone. Why can't I love someone? Why can't I love someone? I'd like to love someone. Kind of mimics the previous verse in that theme of despair, of, why me? But it ends on a hopeful note. I'd like to love someone. And so it's like, it's this something just fell. It's this understanding of God. I really want to love someone, and maybe if I want to, I could. And that's something that will continue to get explored, and we will come back to this verse. But shaping the clay in the dark pre-dawn, God made man to love someone. I really like how that sentence is phrased because it says shaping the clay in the dark pre-dawn, and it doesn't say who's shaping the clay. Perhaps from the next sentence, we could infer that it is God who is shaping the clay, or it's herself. And I like that because that ties back in to the motif of religion or spirituality with every star shivers in the dark. So God and self, and then self and nature. I feel like this whole song, it's very much tying God into nature, into oneness, into unity, into the unity we feel with other people, kind of this collective spirit of humanity and love. And again, despair and hope. Okay, moving on. Oh, this verse is, I think it's one of my favorites. Making my way through the grocery, talking to the man at the cash machine. I work in service too, so I feel for you. I work in service too. I think this might be one of the most genius lines ever written, because when I heard it, I interpreted it completely differently than when I read it, because when she says, I work in service too, so I feel for you. I work in service too. If you can read this. She says, I work in service too, and the first two is plural, and the second one is not. It's, God, I wish I knew how to explain grammar. It's this too. So it implies that she works in service to feel for him, to feel for you. And that, I don't know if I'm like bringing Marxist literature into this for no reason, because I always do that, but that does feel like a moment of like class solidarity. Like, I get it. I work in service too. In fact, I do that because that is my life's work, because it is my job to work in service in a world that is so corrupt. And I know. And I think that's a little bit haunting. Like, I think about how mundane it is, making my way through the grocery, talking to the man at the cash machine. I work in service too. And suddenly there's that switch. And I think about that. I feel that a lot. You know, you're talking to someone at the cash machine. You are talking to a taxi driver. You are talking to someone who is working. And you ask them how they are. And once in a while, someone will tell you that they are not okay. Because working in service fucking sucks. And then beauty amidst grief. The mundaneness of it all. How disgusting it can feel. I mean, how monotonous it is when you're working an 8-hour shift and you're just doing the same motion over and over again. But someone comes up to you and they say, I work in service too, so I get it. I feel for you. Like, I love that verse so much. And this next one kind of builds on that theme of connecting with humans, in that level. Alameda Streetside Prison Tower. A man pressed his hand on the window. I waved a little while. This sentence came to me when I read that. This is all I can offer you. And I think, like, that idea, like, this is all I have. You are there, and all I can give you, I can wave. That's all I can give. That is all I have to offer. And it's the little things. I also thought of this other sentence of, like, I was you, you were me. This idea, it's like, even talking about it, I have this pit of despair in my stomach of, like, empathy. And it's such an empathy when it is not intellectualized, when it is not analyzed. And I know that's a bit hypocritical because I'm analyzing this right now, but empathy as a raw, primal emotion. Something where we look at someone and we think, God, that could have been me, or perhaps it was me, or it will be me, because there's this collective spirit and love, and I don't even want to go on a rant about it, but I don't know, I just think it's haunting. And then we have a return to form. It kind of touches on lyrics that she already had, but it's slightly different. So she goes, the shape of your face in the dark pre-dawn, all I want to do is love someone. Why can't I love someone? Why can't I love someone? Why can't I love someone? So here, instead of saying shaping the clay in the dark pre-dawn, she says the shape of your face in the dark pre-dawn. And instead of saying God made man to love someone, she said all I want to do is love someone. So it takes it from this spiritual realm, something that is more elusive, and it makes it human. It's the shape of your face in the dark pre-dawn. All I want to do is love someone. It makes it very personal. It's a return to form, which I really appreciate because it kind of mimics the chords. And if I'm right, I think the chords are just E and A, and they're just like constantly resolving. And it's very satisfying. And it's, again, very simple in a very intentional way because the lyrics and the storytelling is like the meat and potatoes of this song, and it needs to not be overshadowed by production. Okay. Sailors seek harbor on a lone seashore, leaving the known for something more. I am a pilgrim too. I am a pilgrim too. I might be leaving you, 'cause I am a pilgrim too. It's also sad. It's so sad. But again, this motif of religion, devotion to religion, and that doesn't mean organized religion. It could mean anything. It could mean class solidarity. I don't know what it means to her. I think it can mean something different to everyone. And I think of this as an odyssey. This is a story of someone who is experiencing so many vastly different human experiences that are so quintessential to our understanding of what we are, and are also very mundane, but also very profound. And I love that. I think my favorite type of writing is finding what is profound in the most mundane, repetitive, tedious tasks. But I might be leaving you because I am a pilgrim too. That line wrecks me. Oh, this is also a good one. It's all good. It's all great. Machine-made lap of luxury. I'm torn between the town and country. I'm gonna get real old. Go watch a garden grow. I'm gonna get real old. and that moment, I'm gonna get real old. It's like a flip, a switch has flipped. I always say that wrong. I always say a flip has switched. Anyway, I'm gonna get real old. That is commitment to life. That is commitment to living a long life. And I think that is something that is very beautiful, because I think in the mundaneness of it all, there's so much despair. And it is easy to think that life is living you, and you're not living life. Like it has absolute control over you, and there's nothing you can do to make it more fulfilling, to make it more fruitful. And so, machine-made lap of luxury, I think that might be a nod to like industrial stuff, the Industrial Revolution, or just commodifying everything. Machine-made lap of luxury. Fucking love that. I'm torn between the town and country. And that there's so much to analyze with that, small town living, or I don't even know if she means the town is in the city. I don't know if it's a nod to patriotism. If it is, I wrote this little thing. It says pledges allegiance to self, and I think that's a cool. I think like she it feels like it's almost nodding to patriotism, except she does not pledge allegiance to the country. She pledges allegiance to herself, because at the end of the day, that's all she has. Okay, moving on. This is the last part of the song. Shaping the clay in the dark pre-dawn, God made man to love someone. I'm gonna love someone. Oh, such a good note to end on. I'm going to love someone. And yeah, I just wrote some other things I wanted to touch on. It's all delivered in speech quality. She is singing, but it's speech quality, and so it's like she's talking to you. It's very personal. It's almost like she's in your ear. It's almost as if it is not being spoken. It's almost as if it's like in your head. Like, it's so beautiful. It is so beautiful. It is such a raw account of all of these different little moments in which humans connect with each other, and the relationship between grief and despair and hope and religion, and the country you live in, and money, and just everything. I highly recommend that you listen to this song. That's my spiel. Thank you.